brachioradialis. Brachioradialis muscle is the thin muscle and it's coming from the lateral supracondylar ridge. And its tendon inserts deep to the tendons of abductor pollicis longus, which is this, and extensor pollicis brevis. And those are two of the outcropping muscles, okay, which you have got. So this is so this is our brachioradialis muscle, and then its insertion is underneath the tendons of abductor pollicis longus, which is one of the outcropping muscles, and extensor pollicis brevis. So the tendons are over the insertion of brachioradialis. Deep to the brachioradialis, we have the extensor, this is the extensor carpi radialis longus, which also originates from the lateral supracondylar ridge, but distal to the origin of the brachioradialis muscle. And these two muscles are the most medial of the lateral compartment muscles. I think at this point we were able to identify the radial nerve, the superficial branch of the radial nerve, together with the radial artery. And right here is the radial artery with some of the accompanying veins. So this is one of the accompanying veins, which we call the vena comitante. And then this is our superficial branch of the radial nerve, which is actually moving back more proximally. After identifying these two, we dissected all the way back to the cubital fossa, and we were able to find the point at which the brachial artery bifurcates to give us the radial artery and the ulnar artery, which is actually going in a little bit deeper. At this point, we went over to the medial or the flexor compartment. And the flexor compartment, we started by first identifying the most lateral of the group. We saw that the most lateral of the group is the pronator teres, which is right here. We did start more medially, if I'm to recall. And we started more medially with the flexor carpi ulnaris, which is this muscle right here. And then lateral to it, we had the palmaris longus with this long slender tendon. And then we had our flexor carpi radialis muscle. And at that point, we went more proximally to find our medial epicondyle. And this is where the three superficial muscles are originating from. The origin of the pronator teres is superior to the common flexor origin. And we can see that this was not very clear, but we can see the fibers of pronator teres, the superficial head of the pronator teres, right at this point, above it. We say that it's above and most lateral of the medial group. So it is the proximal and most lateral of this group, and we could follow its superficial head all the way into its insertion as it runs obliquely to insert at the most convex part of the radius, the shaft of the radius.
The flexor radialis, that one. Just flip it a bit the other side, so you can see
Okay.
the pronator teres.
So we can see the pronator teres from its origin as it runs obliquely to the concavity of the radius. And that is almost at the midshaft of the radius. Its deeper head, we cannot follow it at this very point. Now, from here, we were able to identify the flexor digitorum superficialis, which if we had to try and put this back to how it should be, we can see the tendons of the flexor digitorum superficialis. And so when we reflect this, we will see the flexor digitorum superficialis muscle. And in between the tendon of the flexor digitorum superficialis and the flexor carpi ulnaris, we will find our ulnar, nerve, and artery. And in this case, we have, this is the ulnar artery, and with it, we have the ulnar nerve, which we had dissected earlier. So this is the ulnar nerve, which is giving us a dorsal branch, and the dorsocutaneous nerve of the hand, and we can see it of the hand, yes, which you can see right here, and this is the main trunk carrying on, while this is the artery. Now if you try to follow the artery more proximally, we will notice that, like we said earlier, it has certain veni comitanti or accompanying veins, but we follow it more proximally, we can see that it is this same ulnar artery, which is a continuation after the bifurcation at this point. So we can clearly see this, and it's piercing the flexor digitorum.
Flexor carpi ulnaris.
Is it piercing the flexor carpi ulnaris? Artery. We are talking about the artery. We are still talking about the artery, yes. So the artery is actually running through the flexor digitorum, between the flexor digitorum superficialis and the profundus, and we can see it right here. Now, next we are going to follow the nerve. We talked of the branch that it gave. We follow it more proximally, and as we follow it much further towards the elbow or towards the medial epicondyle at the elbow, we find that the ulnar nerve is running in between the humeral fibers of the flexor carpi ulnaris and the ulnar fibers. As we know that flexor carpi ulnaris originates from both the humerus and the ulna, and the ulnar nerve runs in between those two heads of the flexor carpi ulnaris. I think that's where we stop.